Hello YouTube. In the spring of 2021, after an unusually strong low tide, a huge stone road appeared from under the waters of the Pacific Ocean. The stone road seems to be made of giant cobblestones. But is it man-made? If so, who would move such huge blocks of stone, and for what purpose? Or is it just a game of nature? These questions should be answered, of course, by geologists. But let me bring your attention to this area again. Sakhalin is the largest island in the Russian Federation, located in the North Pacific Ocean and bordered by the Japanese islands to the south. In the early 1990s, the Russian media contained reports about strange finds that were made in the middle of the 20th century by Soviet tunnel construction teams under the Tatar Strait. In 1950, as far as we know, a secret decree of the Council of Ministers of the USSR was issued on the construction of a railway that was supposed to connect the mainland with the island of Sakhalin. The site for the tunnel was chosen, considering the opinion of geologists, who discovered strange spacious voids under the strait. It was their builders who converted them into a tunnel through which a railway line could pass. According to some sources, during its construction, workers have repeatedly discovered old but well-preserved mechanisms in the ancient voids, as well as the remains of strange creatures that were promptly removed by representatives of the Soviet Special Services. I mean the KGB. Now, I mentioned this incident in my other videos, and it is very hard to find evidence to confirm full veracity, and I believe the evidence is still locked away in the archive somewhere in Russia. By the way, I bring your attention to the nearby Kuril Islands and the events that are taking place. Of course, numerous UFO and USO sightings going back to the times of old Russia, and of course the Soviet times and now, and the ongoing project of the Russian army and scientists on the island of Matua, which is of course off limits. They are definitely looking for something of, I would say, paranormal nature on that island. And I've made a few videos about it. Anyway, other strange underwater formations are visible via Google Earth along the same coastline, just further north. The source of the news was an institute that specialized in alternative history. However, in fact, as far as I know, this road was opened earlier. It has been periodically appearing after strong tides for a couple of years now. Now, some believe that the road is a typical megalithic monument built in the time of Rama. Dating is easy to establish, they say, because the same road runs between India and Sri Lanka, called the Rama Bridge or Adam's Bridge. The ancient Indian Sanskrit epic Ramayana, written by Valmiki, I would say between 7th century BC to 3rd century AD. Anyway, it mentions a bridge constructed by god Rama through his Vanara, ape-man, army to reach Lanka and rescue his wife Sita from the Rakshasa king Ravana. The location of the Lanka of the Ramayana has been widely interpreted as being current-day Sri Lanka, making this stretch of land Nala's or Rama's bridge. According to the Ramayana, when Rama started this war with the neighboring ruler Ravana, who stole his bride Sita, he ordered an architect named Nala to build a bridge to Sri Lanka, over which he transported the army. As divers who have operated in those parts recently reported, the bridge is built of huge stones that are placed directly on the sand, and they hold well under their weight. Now, the Western world first encountered this information in Ibn Horbadbeh's book of Roads and Kingdoms around 850 AD, in which he refers to Set Bandhai, or Bridge of the Sea. Some early sources, Muslim sources, refer to a mountain in Sri Lanka as Adam's Peak, where Adam supposedly fell to earth. The sources describe Adam as crossing from Sri Lanka to India via the bridge after his expulsion from the Garden of Eden, leading to the name of Adam's Bridge. It is believed that Al-Biruni around 1030 AD was probably the first to describe it in such manner. But there was a British cartographer in 1804 who prepared the earliest map that calls this area by the name of Adam's Bridge. Okay? But there is a similar road near the Bahamas called the Bimini Road. However, several similar structures are periodically seen off the coast of Mexico. So this is very interesting that there must have existed civilizations, global in nature, a long time ago, and people or not people, maybe other sentient creatures, who built such bridges between the continents and between the islands adjacent to them. I told you before about sighting of strange paved road near Yucatan, Mexico, and references to Soviet submarines that operated in the waters there and had observed unusual things. I love Yucatan. I did some field research there, and it contains a lot of secrets still to be uncovered. Anyway, about the tides. Some believe that such strong tides are not good, and often after such tides there are earthquakes. So, what they found near Sakhalin, it looks more like a tsunami breakwater built by an older, more advanced civilization than the one that built the road itself. But let's go back to the tunnels too, and those who dwell below. I have described this in my other videos. Let me add here, excuse me. Legends about creatures living in underground exist in many countries of the world. In Western Europe they are called gnomes, in Norway Zeti, in Lapland Chakli, and in Caucasus Mountains Lilliputian Bitsent. In ancient Russia they were called Lutki and Shud as well. For a long time these legends were perceived, of course, as exotic. However, since the end of the 20th century, some in the scientific circles and in the media, and there have been more and more suggestions that there is still a world below us, inhabited by unknown inhabitants or dwellers, and developing according to its own mysterious laws. Now, those enigmatic tunnels are also mentioned in archival documents preserved in the Ural Mountains area. Especially in 1748, a group of workers at the Nevyansky mine accidentally discovered the entrance to a spacious tunnel that ran north along the Ural Ridge, covered with a stone slab. Ore mining experts of the Imperial Russia imported this strange find to the mining authorities. Soon a special commission headed by the engineer Rudolf Schechter was sent to the mine. However, the rock collapse that occurred the day before did not allow the commission members to find the entrance, which was discovered by the workers before. Analysis of the available facts bring forth a hypothesis that there has been an extensive network of giant tunnels, maybe even cities, connected to each other underground since ancient times. We know about one such city. It's located under the Turkish village of Derinkuyu and able to accommodate up to 10,000 people. But information became known somewhat recently. Scientists are still at loss to guess who and when built such grand underground shelter. It is surmised that the age of discovered underground structures reportedly ranges from 10 to 30 million years. Look, it's quite possible that those who created such underground cities were representatives of civilizations that preceded the human race, and they had a high level of development. However, the catastrophes on our planet that regularly occur on the surface forced those ancient rulers of our planet to go into its bowels inside, underground, where they, having adapted to new conditions of life, most likely live even to this day. And perhaps they come up once in a while. And if you can look at my video about the Baikal underwater creatures, the so-called swimmers, the research that I've done for years, and some other videos in my channel pertaining to the ancient mysterious tunnels, you will see more information and cases of whoever is down there coming up. And I will bring more information of this sort in my future videos as well. If you can support my research, you will find the links in the description to this video, and I'll bring you more videos soon. Thank you for your attention.